New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams. NYC.
Come back down 21 points in the fourth quarter and beat the Heat 102-98. Jalen Brunson, big shot. Brunson gives you 24 points, 3 assists, shoots 10 of 16 from the field. Emmanuel quickly leads the bench with 20 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. He was a big spark in that fourth quarter. The Bodman RJ Barrett gave you 18 points and 7 rebounds. Randall had a real funny game with a lot of turnovers and a lot of assists, 13 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds. And Josh Hart rounds it off with 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And the Knicks really battled. We did not take care of the ball, especially in that first half, but somehow we came back, and we're going to talk about it, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the win, all right? Because the Knicks take home this win. We lived to fight another day, because if you did not know, if the Knicks lost today, we would not be able to continue with the in-season tournament. But we beat the Heat, and I'm happy we got that dub. Not just because of the in-season tournament, because we owed them some get back, Ebony. We did. We owed them some getting back from the playoffs, and I'm glad we got back and got that dub. So salute to you guys, and salute to everybody in the chat. All right, let's get to it. So Ebony, man, how are you feeling about this win?
I think it says exactly what IQ said in his post-game interview, that we got dogs and they don't quit. We went down 20 in the third quarter and came back to win. Not the whole game, but the third quarter that happened. We had to get back right. Mm-hmm. So that shows we just gonna keep coming. We just gonna keep coming, and we got to talk about our point guards today.
Yes, you do. yes, we do. The two-headed snake of our point guard. We had 48 minutes of point guarding today. We did. We did, between Brunson and Emmanuel quickly. And I'm gonna start off with Emmanuel quickly, because I feel like that's where the story really started, because the third quarter happened. It looked like he was dead in the water. All of a sudden, quickly comes in the game, and he's playing like he has no pressure, no fear in the world. He was super aggressive, bombing away from three. And the second unit in general came in and took advantage of the Heat's second unit. Really couldn't keep up with their aggressiveness and shot making. That whole second unit was led by Emmanuel quickly shot making. He hit 3 after 3. He came in slinging threes, and I feel like him and Hartenstein's defense really propelled the Knicks in that end of third to fourth quarter to get things going.
Exactly. I definitely agree. It was the quickly shown at the end of the third quarter. We came out flat. We came out really flat. I think they said they went on a 19-0 run the beginning of the third quarter. So we were struggling, it looked bad. It looked like it was about to be a bad on ESPN. a bad showing on ESPN,
It did.
But quickly came in there, and the third quarter, he just started picking his shots. Then and when Brunson went out, he continued, holding it down offensively when it looked like we didn't have anything, and just a spark. And I know we'll talk about the bench, I know that, but just that whole unit and their energy kind of really brung us back. We started that run with two of our big three on the bench.
Yeah, we did.
So, yeah, and with IQ, what I thought today was underrated was his defense. When it was Brunson time, rather, the clutch time, he had picked it up defensively. He had some key stops and contests on Butler, and I think it was Jamie too. He did well on Jamie, when he was guarding him, and he's bigger than him. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we did well actually when they were bigger than us, and we still had that small lineup. We didn't do too bad today with that
That was
lineup at all.
we didn't. There was a few lineups where when you look at it, you go, man, we should not have the advantage here, but we ended up having the advantage. Bam Adebayo is a guy who's like a defensive juggernaut. Uh, RJ Barrett hit a clutch basket at the end, scoring over Bam Adebayo. Quickly, like you said, defensively did that. There was a time where Jimmy Butler switched on to Brunson, and it didn't matter.
It mattered.
It didn't matter. Brunson's like, oh, you taller than me? Oh, you the defensive stop. I don't care. I'm scoring buckets on you anyway. This team fought today, man. This team
Yes.
really fought.
They fought hard. And like I said, the point guards with IQ, he just picked his spots. He chose his. He had a beautiful shot selection today too. And with Brunson, it seemed like he figured out that the league is trying to put bigger players on him, and he's letting the league know that that's not really how you guard me. Only I can guard me. And
Facts.
when they put that Butler, he did that strong move and brushed Butler right off. Like it wasn't Jimmy Butler, who's a very strong player. I was like, get it, Brunson. Let
Yeah,
them
man.
know. Let
Facts.
them know.
Let him
And
know.
yeah, Brunson was phenomenal. Like IQ held it down, and Brunson and a little bit of RJ sprinkled in, closed the show. He had 3 back-to-back and 1 opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Strong finishes. Like one of the things that's underrated about Brunson is people talk about his footwork and his mid-range game, which they should, because he that's who he is. That's where he makes his bread and butter most for the most part. Even though this season he's been hitting threes a lot, but what's underrated about Brunson is he's strong. Like he's he's kind of a burly 6 foot, and he's able to knock people off his spot and create space. And he did that today a few times. He's been doing that since he's been a Knick. So I really love, man, Brunson is phenomenal, man. Shot 66% from the field. And they really picked the spots because the beginning of the game, they were trapping him. They were getting the ball out of his hands. And they was forcing Randall to make a lot of the plays, which was really, really, really feast or famine. Really feast or famine. Because Randall, he made some phenomenal plays in the first half, but then he made some plays where I'm just like, okay, that wasn't needed. And he was a lot of the reason why we were down for most of that first half. But credit the Knicks, because the Knicks were up 1 at the half, not playing well. Like all the things that we usually do well, Ebony, we didn't do well. Like we were number 2 in the league in offensive rebounds. We lost the offensive rebounding battle today.
To the worst rebounding team in the league, I believe.
Yeah. And on top of that, the points off of turnovers. The Heat had 18 points off of turnovers in the first half. They're the 25th ranked pace team. The Heat were running off of turnovers and missed baskets, and we were not able to go back and defend correctly. It was mind-boggling to me because it felt like defensively we were good in the half court, but for some reason we were really bad at matching up off of missed shots and turnovers, and we had to clean that up.
That's just shouts out to Miami having a smart coaching staff. All season, we speak about how we've been struggling to get back. Even on made baskets sometimes during the season. You'd be like, how did he get behind y'all? We've said that quite a bit of times this season. So Miami recognizing that, they pushed every chance they could, trying to catch us off guard and our defense not being set. Because again, we are a good defensive team. So a good defensive team. So you don't want to go against a setup. You want to get us mismatched and backpedaling to take advantage of us. So it's a smart, very smart strategy by Miami, but we just overcame that first quarter. I felt like it was a lot more one-on-one. We had spurts where we did good ball movement, but it was more my turn, your turn type of thing. And it was a lot more today in that first half standing around. The standing around, clapping, waiting for the ball kind of thing. I saw it more so. And Randall gave me some PTSD, a little flashback of some things I don't want to see ever again. That the jump pass, I thought we was past that. I thought we was past that jump pass, and I saw it today. I
They both
almost, but we moving on. We not gonna look back, right, Randall? We not looking back. We moving forward with this, because
yeah, man.
at one point we had 8 turnovers as a team, and he had 6 of them. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. He had 6, and sometimes I'm looking like, oh, that's a really. Sometimes I find myself going, well, that's a great pass, Randall. Like the 5-4 pick and roll still worked. Like I feel like one of his first nice passes was this pass to Mitch as he was rolling, and
yeah,
that's the advantage of having Randall run the pick and roll versus Brunson, because they was trapping Brunson, and he can't make that pass over the top to Mitch rolling. But Randall's tall enough to do it. But it's just Randall's not as good as a passer sometimes.
yeah. You can tell he's still learning how to deal with the double team.
Yeah.
Miami double teamed him basically the whole night.
Mhm.
They weren't shy with it. It was aggressive double team. And
Exactly.
Randall is still learning on making the right reads, because sometimes he has to realize it's different elements. You can't do the same thing every time. You have to really see what they're doing and adjust, because he tried to do a alley oop pass to iHeart that I knew wouldn't work. You
Yeah.
gotta know
It's the
your
right
person.
pass.
you
It's the
you
right
gotta know
pass.
your personnel. I'm like, that's not Mitch. I get it. If it was Mitch, that might have been different. A better look. But again, he's learning. He's learning about dealing with double teams. I was saying maybe what they did, well, the adjustment we kind of made in the third quarter was maybe to get it out his hand a little bit, help him, put him off ball more so than have him be the decision maker, since they're blitzing him so much.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like the biggest change that I noticed in that fourth quarter was we went away from Randall. We went away from Randall. We doubled down on Brunson. They was very judicious on who they were picking with in the pick and roll in that fourth quarter. They saw that the Miami was switching a lot of times, and they was picking who they wanted to switch with. It's like, okay, if you're gonna switch everything, if you're not gonna trap me and you're gonna switch, I'm picking my defender. And they did a really good job switching and picking certain defenders to pick on. And Brunson was clutch in that fourth quarter, and so was RJ, who made a lot of big plays.
Yes, I felt, we were beating ourselves a lot. And one thing with Miami is they don't do that. They're
Yeah.
also a good team that, a team that doesn't turn the ball over like us. They don't foul very much. They play defense without fouling. And, they when they make the most out of the shots they get. So you can't make many mistakes and expect to beat Miami. In the first half, we made a lot of mistakes. And in the third quarter, the beginning of the third quarter, I felt we made a lot of mistakes. I felt we were jumping on a lot of shot fakes today. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, not staying on their feet. And I was like, we got to be more disciplined. If we just be more disciplined on offense and defense, because we were turning the ball over, and then, we're fouling them and jumping at them. So I was like, if we could turn that around, we'll have a shot. And then the third quarter happened. I was like, okay, come on, we got a lot of turning around
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
But IQ again stepped it up, and then RJ and Brunson brung us home. And again, shouts out to them for picking up their teammate who didn't have a great game. So we won't have to hear people demolishing. Well, they probably still will, but not as much demolishing Randall for his
Mm-hmm.
his play today, because we still got the W. This is what a team looks like. Pick
Team,
each other up.
we pick each other. Everybody's gonna have a good game all the time. Sometimes you're gonna have bad games.
Yeah,
Randall
you see.
I don't know. I don't even know what you call it. Like I feel like some fans would call it a bad game. Um, I wouldn't call it an all the way bad game. I call it a mixed bag game. That's what I would call it. I'll call it a mixed bag game, because there were stretches that were horrible, and there were stretches that were brilliant. Like the kick out to Grimes to end the second quarter was the correct play. There was
Yeah.
a few correct plays even in that third quarter when when the when the starters were struggling. I just felt like the starters were kind of playing tight a little bit, and Clyde said it in the program, but it felt
Mm-hmm.
like they was playing a little bit scared. But correct plays were made, but it just didn't come to fruition. We didn't score for those. But Randall had a mixed bag game today, but I'm just glad IQ was there to pick it up. So was Brunson, and so was RJ Barrett.
Yes, and definitely I am. See, look, even Randy had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. So he didn't let it. define his whole game. He still was doing other things or trying to. I'm just glad that he didn't normally, with a game like this, on a big stage like this, you might have seen him press a little bit, but he didn't. It didn't seem like, he let it get to him too much or affect the team rather, like I'm having a bad game, let my teammates do what they can, and I'm actually going to get out the way. So that was good to see. And I want to say shouts out. I don't normally do this, so it feels weird. Shouts out to Tibbs because playing who was impacting the game,
Yeah.
playing the people who were impacting the game at the right times, picking and choosing. Like I mentioned earlier, it was the unit with RJ in the bench that really started the comeback. And
Yeah.
I felt that he eased the starters in and didn't even put Mitch back in. He let iHeart rock out. So this is what, again, having the team playing those who's impacting the game. It's not what you did for me lately, it's what are you doing now. So who's hot that game? And I've been asking Tibbs to do that, and it today felt like a game like he did.
Yeah. No, I agree. Only thing I would say, Tip still doesn't really do this. I do feel like he still plays the starters. He will not take the starters out until he'll either play the starters the entire third quarter or until the 3 minute mark. They'll be down 50. He'll still play. That's still my only thing with Tibbs that annoys me is like, all right, we down 15 now. It's cool that you play the timeout. You call timeout. But you know what? Put somebody else in the game and switch it up earlier than the 3 minute mark in the third quarter. That's my only thing.
Nah, I agree. I don't like the set rotations. I've never liked that. I've never liked that. I thank goodness I've never played on the team when I'm playing. I've never played on a team like that. It's always been if you don't play, you don't, if you don't contribute, you don't stay in the game, That's
Right.
just it. If you don't find something positive to do, you don't get a chance to play. And I guess that's the kind of thing I take when I'm looking at my team. I would like my coach to do that too. So I saw that today with Tibbs. Like, you see IQ rock out. You didn't see Grimes. Well, Grimes had a short leash, so he
Yeah.
doesn't count. He doesn't count. But even with Randall, to me, he eased him back in. He normally he'd put Brunson and Randall in quick fast. Put him back in the second when it comes to the fourth quarter, that type of time today.
Yeah,
But
he wrote.
he subbed in Brunson for a while by himself, and then put Randall in a little bit later. And when Randall came in, he didn't try to take over. He just kept letting his teammates go with the flow of the game. So, like I
Yeah.
said, we see growth. Every game you see growth, and you just hope that it continues and it's not a fluke.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like the starters came in and RJ was running the show for the first few minutes when the starters came back in. And I was happy to see that. Like I don't even remember Randall touching the ball in the fourth quarter at all. Like
Me
I don't
neither. I can't. Yeah, I don't either. He played the background.
he was just like a decoy. And that could have been by design too, because you know what? Brunson got caught up in the first half a lot, getting trapped by bigger guys. So I mean, now that I think about it, that could have been offensive design to keep Brunson out of the picture, to keep his defender, a bigger guy, from going on to Brunson and trapping him, because that's what was keeping Brunson out of the game in that first half to begin with. Even though Brunson was scoring efficiently, like you really couldn't. Brunson was not. You had our best playmaker was out of play, so
Yeah.
that could have been something designed by Tibbs to just kind of use him as a decoy and keep the bigger defenders away from Brunson. So I don't know. You got to give it up. Give it up to Tibbs, man. Tactician.
Yeah, I didn't think, never thought. Well, not never thought, never say never, but it's very rare. It's very rare. But like I said, I try to give people their flowers. I'm gonna talk about them when they do bad. I'm gonna talk about you when you do good too. So
Exactly. Yeah. He'll salute to the chat. So I don't have the usual setup. So there's no Discord, no gunshots. You got to do your internal gunshots today.
I heard it. I heard it though. I did.
Yeah. Shout out to Fritz, best mod in the game, who's running the show for us behind the scenes. And shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to East Brew. Shout out to Sandman. I see you, Sandman's here during wins. I see you, Sandman. Salute to you. You here during the win, celebrating with us. All right. I respect it. Shout out to Fritz, shout out to Alexander, and shout out to Jay Boogie's in the chat since the
Jay
five.
Boogie.
Yeah, man. Salute, salute, salute.
Salute, salute.
Shout out to Jay Boogie. Says back on Christmas is in negotiations to be performed on Christmas Day. Whoa, wait a minute. You talking about MSG? Appreciate you, JL, and the KOT show. Love here always, my brother. All right, yo,
Oh.
you. All right, I'm trying to read. Back on Christmas is in negotiations to be performed on Christmas. Are you performing on Christmas? Is that what you're saying? Are you performing on Christmas Day on MSG? Is that what you're saying, or am I adding? I'm adding. Jay Boogie be moving in a certain way, so you won't know. He might have some big things
For
lined
real.
up because he be moving big out here.
A good guy, a good guy.
Definitely
Definitely.
a good guy. Exactly. Salute to you. Salute to you. I don't know if you have any. We can make this a short show. I don't know if you have anything you want to touch on. That I do. It's still weird that Grimes only had like 4 shots today. DiVincenzo didn't really have a lot of shots either. But I don't know if you anything else you want to mention.
Dang, I did. I kind of wait. Hold on for because I did write something down that I want to talk about, so I didn't forget because my memory shot.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, shouts out to to our team for not settling and playing in the hands of the defense. Our 3-point shooting on both sides on Miami and New York was terrible, terrible. And the words of Charles Barkley, terrible. It was just terrible, right? So, we did not keep jacking it up, and we started going to the hoop and being more aggressive. On our comeback, we sprinkled some quickly threes in there, a little RJ threes every once in a while. But it wasn't everybody just settling for threes. You had Brunson trying to get to the bucket. You had RJ getting to the bucket. He had that strong move against Bam. Then you had our defensive intensity pick up. We started getting into the passing lanes and deflecting passes. I think we had like back-to-back steals and back-to-back 3-pointers on both of those steals, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I just like the fight. I just love the fight, and you can't ask for anything else from your team. Even when they're down, and they're still not going to give up. They're going to give you their all. And Josh Hart, we could talk about Josh Hart. I thought he played.
Yeah,
I thought he played a good game.
Yeah, I agree. Josh Hart has been someone that's been frustrating me a little bit, and we haven't really talked about him a lot. But he hasn't played that well to start. It could be the fatigue from playing in FIBA, just like Jalen Brunson. But beyond the fatigue, the unwillingness to shoot open shots really bugged me. A lot of times in that Miami Heat Knicks matchup, Brunson was left open on purpose, and Brunson or whoever teammate would kick him the ball, and the Heat wouldn't even close out. They straight up disrespected him. They didn't even close out. And a lot of times he would just head fake and drive into traffic, and it would be a turnover. But today, when he was open, he shot the ball most of the time from 3. Even though, I don't know what was his stat line today.
It was he had 10 points, 8 rebounds,
Yeah,
4 assists,
7.
1 steal, 4 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3.
It was horrible.
And he hit 1 for 1 from free throw. Plus 5, 1 turnover, 1 foul.
Right.
So he plays a good game. Like with Josh Hart, again, I always tell people that his game is not flashy. He's not flashy. And he's really going to do whatever the team needs him to do.
Yeah,
Whatever that may be. Sometimes it may look like scoring. Sometimes it may look like rebounds. Sometimes it may look like setting up his teams for other shots. And sometimes it just may look like being a decoy by cutting. He just always has an impact on the game. And his impact is always not going to be scoring. So I think when people think about his amount he's getting paid, they be like, well, he has to score. He has to score. But one thing I've noticed with Josh Hart throughout the game, he's been doing a decent job, like secretly, at that backup 4. When it comes to battling for rebound, he hasn't been getting out rebounded like that and things of that nature. He's been playing solid D. The assist numbers go back and forth. What I would like him to do, like you mentioned, though, is to stop the hesitation. I would like that. You then the pump faking. Quickly can get away with that because he's shooting at a good clip,
And he
so
can
he
shoot
can
that quota. Yeah.
yeah, he can act like he's shooting and people believe in fake, or when you do it, they like, all right, you just give them a chance to go to somebody else because they would rather you shoot it. So now
Mm-hmm.
they trying to box out somebody else, and that's not what you had intended to do anyway. So now you get to say now it's a stutter in the offense.
Exactly.
Um, I just want him to limit the hesitation. That's the only thing I really have against him because I think he underrated me like quietly is having a decent nothing to be rah-rah about, but a solid season as a role play. I would like that 3-point percentage to get a little better. We all would like a consistent three from him. That would help a lot. And I think he would be more deadly. Josh Hart with a consistent 3-pointer, the
Mm-hmm.
way he go to the basket like a running back,
Yeah.
yeah, that would help his game. But I with him, when you hustle, good things happen.
Yeah.
Good things happen. I'm not worried about him or Dante because I didn't think Dante, had a big game, but he did his defensive impact during that run. He started getting into them lanes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, that was big. But this is what a team. We're not the shiny toys, as you would say. We don't probably look good on paper.
This
But as a team, we are super dangerous.
this is like the closest to the '90s style Knicks that I've seen, where it's a
Yes.
bunch of guys who are not necessarily superstars, but they do a lot of the dirty work. Josh Hart is the dirty work guy. Dante is the dirty work guy. Hartenstein is the dirty work guy. And they just gut it out. And then we have these guys who are like on the brink of being great players, but not considered all stars. Uh, we're just a crew. It's like a motley crew of dudes who's just gonna give it their all and fight no matter what. And that's when you're a team that's down 20 points, 21 points in the fourth quarter and win. Uh, that like
Shut them down. It was like, well, what was the shooting percentages again? One for what was it? From
this,
three?
all we had to do was make some shots because they wasn't shooting well in the first half. Like really, they were only in the game because we turned the ball over and they got more shots at the basket. I think they had 46 shots to our 39 in the first half field goal attempts.
And we
And
also yeah, like you said, we beat ourselves. We turned the ball over. And one thing I keep telling, I'm gonna keep saying because they keep showing when we do that one-on-one ball, it is terrible. Bad things happen. It looks like an extreme struggle. It looks like we can't get anything easy. I thought that's what we were doing in the first half and part of the third quarter, that nothing came easy. But once we start moving the ball and trusting each other or helping each other get easy shots, giving each other space, and so Brunson can go get the space to do what he does and with his hand doing things of that nature, or RJ the same. Then you saw good things happen. So I hope they see that. I hope we don't keep going back and forth where we have these laps and we don't have a lot of assists and we're not passing or moving and we're waiting on the perimeter. I hope they realize that playing as a team, what it does, and doesn't it feel easier? Like you understand, like doesn't this feel easier than trying to do it all for yourself because you got a little bit of people chipping in from here and there, and that makes up. You get some people chipping in on the rebounds, some people chipping in assists, and that could make up for a star's off day.
yeah, and you know what else it is too? It's like the Heat defense. Shout out to Spoelstra. Spoelstra is a tactician as a coach, and they'll throw everything at you. They were trapping us to get the ball out of Brunson's hands. They were switching a lot of things. And when you switch in basketball, to it's harder for you to actually move the ball when you switch. When you switch, you're kind of promoting one-on-one iso ball. You know what I mean? Because when you switch, it's not like you're not gonna get any separation on anybody.
Mm.
So when you switching, you're like, all right, I have a bigger defender or a slower defender on me, so now I'm taking them one-on-one. So when you switch, it promotes even less ball movement than you usually have. And
Mhm.
Spoelstra does that, and he throws us out of rhythm. And we only had 21 assists today, after having a lot of assists for the first few games. So it didn't bode well for us, but we ended up actually winning the game anyway. So it worked out at the end. But you're right, the ball movement is going to help us win games. We found a way to move the ball in that fourth quarter when we started to come back. And to end the game, we finally used the switches to our advantage, and we ended up winning the game. So uh, I'm I'm just happy we got this win. I'm happy we beat the bum Heat because I'm tired of losing to those man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of Bam Adebayo's illegal screens too.
Oh my goodness, he almost took somebody else out today. His
God.
come on, clumsy. I don't know what to call him. Like him and Derek
Man.
White. Stay away from our players. He almost hurt Brunson today.
Yeah. He almost hurt Brunson. Shots he hurt IQ in the playoffs. He hurt Randall right before the playoffs started. Like, I hope we do not play the Heat right before the playoffs.
Him and Derek White, stay away from our players,
Stay
please.
away. Please stay away. Because I was scared when Brunson was on the floor. I was giving the whose man's is this for that? Because that was crazy.
Yeah, super crazy. But now, yeah, with the assists, I'm glad we hit 20 mark. I remember, I think it was in the Timberwolves game. We didn't get 20. I'm not sure. So like that was another time again a good team and us trying to do it one-on-one is what I see. I see it just going back into maybe bad habits or not bad habits, just what you're comfortable doing when you're down or against good teams. And I was just glad that Randall didn't try to do what he did in the Timberwolves game when it seemed like he was trying to go back and forth with that hero. Let me show you what I got against Cat. Like he just took the back row. So I appreciate that. And yeah, I had something else to say, but my memory shot. But my memory is shot. But I appreciate the fight, and this is a good morale win. And yeah. I know ESPN was waiting for the blowout at the end. Their eyes lit up when we was down by 20, but sorry for y'all. Yeah, it's been ruined.
I'm so glad I wasn't listening on ESPN. I'm so glad.
It's been ruined.
So glad.
It's been ruined.
The next step for us is beating those teams with the elite defenses. Because when we were playing the lower echelon guys, who was getting 28 assists, 27 assists, 26 assists. The next step for us is to beat those guys who are elite defenses or top 10 defenses and keep with our system and still find a way to move the rock. Because I felt like we fell short with the Timberwolves because they're number one defense. They got a lot of the long guys to help defend. And I don't remember the ranking of the Heat, but the Heat aren't no slouch on defense either. You're not going to be with Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler and a coach like Expulsion. So
not at all. They're like top 10 in steals too, right? Like number 3 in steals. They're a good defensive team. And just like Minnesota was a good defensive team, and with Miami, they doing it without fouling. They do not foul, just like us. They don't foul. They stay in front of you and play good disciplined defense. And with the Timberwolves, it's funny you said because NBA University, which I frequent a lot, they just had a post on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, about defensive rating, in the players' defensive rating. And the Timberwolves had 6 of their players on a 15-player list, I believe. 6 of them.
Yeah.
So we didn't lose to a slouch. It was no need. I seen everybody about to lose their mind. They want to trade everybody. They looking to trade everybody.
It's part of the course, Edmund. It's part of the course.
I don't like it.
Yeah, but this win was a good win. It sets us up for Sunday when we play the Suns. The Suns are another team where they got you can't sleep on the Suns. They have Kevin Durant.
Never.
They got Durant. They have Durant and Booker. So I mean, they don't really have the depth. They're really top heavy. So it should be an interesting game on Sunday at 6 o'clock. I can't wait to play the Suns. But then we got the Hornets, winnable game again. Pistons, the Raptors twice, and the Jazz. So hopefully we start to build some momentum.
Yes, I agree. Hopefully, I want to see. I believe in this team. I don't think it's a fluke, but the up and down can have people having questions. I understand that, The not being consistent could definitely have you thinking, is it real, or are they going through a good little a good streak rather? So,
Because
but
the
I'm
thing,
proud of this team.
we're not. There's no slump. I mean, we lost to the Timberwolves, but
Nah.
there is no slump. We still have a winning record.
Yeah,
We
now
lost.
I'm talking about with the team play, with the way we get the wins, how sometimes we're all as a team, and then sometimes we go to this where it just looks like, okay, I'm gonna try to do it. Okay, I can't do it. Well, you try to do it now,
Right.
So that's what I mean by like a slump. Like, is that our identity? Is that really our identity, or are we faking it, the faking the funk? But I really think that's who we're trying to become and who we are. I just think, to keep locked in. We just got to keep everybody keep locked in. We'll be all right.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Shout out to Latrell Sprewell, the American Dream, one of my favorite players in Knick history. He said Brunson made a play out of nothing to find RJ for a wide open three that missed, but Randall was way too slow at reacting on court. Yeah, that was a good play by Brunson too. Um, it's funny. He gets his tag for being selfish sometimes, and I do believe sometimes he needs to pass. But I still feel like he tries to win, and when he sees the pass, he's not good at throwing lobs. He's not. He tried to throw a lob to Mitch, and it turned into a three pointer for the.
he misses the big so much, and I want to say maybe like you said is the height difference, but he missed Mitch wide open. Grimes wound up hitting him, so I said I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say he thought Grimes had a better angle.
Yeah, I think he's just more comfortable throwing it to the shooters than the big. I think he's scared to throw it to the big and commit a turnover. And he goes just for the safer pass. But yeah, it was a nice kick out to RJ who missed the three. So he tries to make the play even in winning time, but he just always doesn't make it all the time. But he's still clutch, man. That guy was a problem in clutch time, man. I want him on my team in the clutch for sure.
Yes, he's a dog. I ain't gonna nitpick on him. He did have like zero assists, I think, like the whole first half,
Yeah,
or what it might have been the whole first half if I remember
yeah.
correctly. So
That
people gonna say stuff about that.
But it was the way they was playing him though. Like if you saw the way Miami was playing him, they were playing him to take the ball out of his hands. So you can't get an assist if they keep trapping you at the 3-point line. At that point, you guys gotta get rid of the ball. And
Yeah.
that's what he was doing the whole first half. It wasn't that he was necessarily ball hogging. It was just like they knew that he was dangerous and they weren't letting him do anything. They were just like, oh, pick and roll, we're trapping you.
Yeah, I don't think he was ball hogging either. I think Randall had the ball in his hand majority of that
Yeah,
first half.
he did.
I
He
think,
did.
and that was another adjustment by the Knicks in the second half to limit that. So yeah, I think that's all I said. I just today it was adjustment. The key word was adjustments because we did lots of it, and that's not normally what we do. So
See.
this was something different, and hopefully it continues.
Word.
And I'm glad Butler was able to continue, and they got to show the replay of how he got hurt, because I didn't want to have to hear the crying Miami Heat fans talking about we injured him again.
Man, Miami Heat,
We didn't injure him the first time.
be injured. They stay injuring us. I don't even want to hear it. I
Yeah.
don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But salute to the chat. Should we do bruh pick? I don't even have.
Yeah, I got one. I seen somebody put it in the chat too.
Yeah, I don't even have my bruh button. I might have.
Bruh.
I might have to do it. I have to do it by mouth, bruh.
Yes, I have a bruh pick. It's probably I did see one person say it in the chat, and it's definitely Josh Giddey. It might have to be the OKC's whoever, I think it was the GM or the president, I forgot, whoever said that they no comment because this is a personal matter. No, it's not a personal matter, sir. That is a legal matter. Yeah, that one, and Josh Giddey with the no comment. No.
Explain what's happening with Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey has it's come out that he's had dating or messing with, had relations with a 16, 17-year-old teenager, basically.
Bruh.
And yes, so
Sheesh.
that has come out that
Mm.
he's messed with an underage girl, and they trying to say that it's legal in whatever state he did it in or whatever it is. But however way you spin it, that's not a good look. Even if that's, come on, you are an NBA player. You have a bunch of grown women that you don't go to jail for, so all around you, and this is what you resolved. I don't get it. Make it make sense. The decision making. I know it hasn't. The fact haven't
Right.
really come out because they're investigating. But I remember seeing a tweet not too long ago, because I'm in these Twitter streets. I remember seeing a tweet not too long ago about somebody telling a girl to relay a message to Josh Giddey, and she actually showed the screenshot of the messages between him and her relaying the message that the fans asked her to, right? To supposedly that's the girl that he's, yes. So it's like it looks to be a trail, pictures of things like that you can't deny. And
Yeah.
I'm going, you gotta wait to see what it sees, but what comes out, but it doesn't look good. It does not look good. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely Josh Giddey, sophomore in college. Somebody in sophomore in high school. Somebody in the chat asked. Yeah, they said sophomore or junior, I believe I heard.
Yeah, man.
And
You in colleges, bro. You gotta go with the college girls. You gotta leave the high school girls alone.
yeah,
I know you
and
21, bro. I know you
they claim
21.
that this happened supposedly it was when he's 19 or so, and she's 17, 16, something like that. But I think this was more recent than that, to be honest.
They're trying to do
But
it.
we shall see. What's done in the dark nowadays, it seems to be coming to light left and right.
Oh yeah, it's happening in the universe.
Yes.
Something happening. Well, I already know, like in New York in particular, what I've heard is what's happening is that there's been like a new law that's put in place in New York in
Hmm.
particular,
Was it
where
the Victims Act? I think it's called something
yeah, the
like
Victims Act. Yeah, see, everybody know.
that.
Yeah, the Victims Act, where you have like a certain amount of time to file lawsuits for sexual assaults, and if you didn't do it before Thursday,
Yeah.
then you couldn't bring people to trial. So that's why all these cases are coming out all of a sudden back to back, because people are meeting the deadline. So you're gonna be hearing a lot of stuff over the next probably week or two.
Yes, and with this whole case with the NBA is what I've been saying. A lot of people had their concerns or their dislikes for the past president of the NBA and Stern. But one
Yeah,
thing I can say is he did try to keep the integrity of the game and just the people. You hear
yeah,
the lengths he would go to keep his players out of trouble. You heard Carmelo tell the stories, and you hear other AI tell the stories of the lengths that they would go to kind of keep you away from bad influences and things of that
yeah,
nature. And now with today, it just seems like it's all about the mighty dollar. And if you can bring the almighty dollar in this NBA, that they're willing to overlook it. You see the Miles Bridges, and then you see that they cut Kai Jones, the same team that employs Miles Bridges, cut somebody that looked like they needed, maybe a therapist or two. you
yeah,
know uh so what kind of message is the league sending right now? It's kind of iffy. And as a woman, I got my eye on the NBA and how they handle certain things, because it's not looking very great lately.
yeah. It's funny. Stern has his reputation of being Stern, really, and it's funny because at the time you don't appreciate it, and there are certain times where I did feel like he was going too far, but sometimes I don't know. Right now, I feel like maybe the pendulum swung too far the other way, and they might need to tighten up on some of these things. Uh,
Uh,
like I do remember the I do remember the dress code thing was a big deal with Stern, and people weren't allowed to wear what they wanted to wear. They had to be in suits or whatever. I felt like that might have been a little bit too far for the NBA, but I do like that he was sterner about some more criminal activity being in the league and dirtying up the league. Like I don't think we need that, and we need to keep an eye on that and tighten that up. because
Yeah.
we don't need that here either.
Yeah, facts. And to me, it seems like he's more in tune in keeping you from talking to the refs or criticizing the refs or things of that nature instead of stuff that's really major.
Right.
If you just look at how you're allowing a referee that you know is antagonizing a certain player and his history behind that, how do you allow that to still continue? It's just little things that I've looked at Silver sideways for a while now.
Yeah. At the same
Yeah,
time, during the Stern eras when you had Donahue and those guys betting on games, so I don't know.
yeah,
Like
but
my
it's come out that the referee, I dag, why can't I remember his name now? The referee that got into, huh? Who was
Scott
it?
Foster.
Yeah, the referee that got to CP3, that they were best friends. Tim Donahue and him were best friends.
Yeah. Listen,
So
man.
you know how that go, birds of a feather.
Listen, if you listen to KOT, we started what 2017. We've been complaining about Scott Foster for a long time at KOT, right? Because there were some games where I'm just like, how was that even a call? I still remember he called Courtney Lee. He gave Courtney Lee a tech for trash talking um at a jump ball with like in overtime to lose the game, and that was like the most ridiculous call. And then he interviewed Courtney Lee, and Courtney was like, "Yo, I didn't even say anything crazy." He's like, "What the rookie said to me was crazy," and I just said, "Hey, man, watch your mouth," and he gave me a tech. So
Yeah. You
Scott
should never know
Foster,
a referee's name. The fact that you want to know the referee name is you
yeah.
understand? We didn't come here to see you, and that's what gets me. But yeah, the NBA with this, they definitely have to handle this because they people think they've mishandled a lot of other things. So
Mm.
yeah.
Ooh, what's that? Charles Piro says late in the game, Brunson was calling for Randall to set a screen because Jacquez was guarding Randall, and Randall was so slow to react and screen late that he could not happen. Come on, we need you to be. Uh, you know what's funny? Sometimes when Randall doesn't get the ball, he gets a little pouty. So I wonder if that's I don't know. He gets a little pouty sometimes when he needs the ball. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that's what he was doing, but it's a possibility. That's a possibility. I don't know if we went off on a tangent from what we was talking about, but I thought that was
Yeah.
an intriguing comment that caught my eye.
I had the who mans is Adam Silver too. Forget that.
Yeah, I'm still forget that whose man's is this war for sure. Hold that one for the
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said the NBA is hard on drugs, though. I said, yeah, well, if that's the case, that's the case. They should have drug tested him and let it be if that
yeah,
was the case. But I don't even think they found anything in him. They just like, all right, you're going left, you know. He
my
made some comments about his teammates. I think they were just like, all right, whatever. But to me, it's just crazy that you were quick to give up on that kid, and you have somebody that's still terrorizing his baby mother, you know, the mother of his kids.
my thing
Um,
is, yeah, I was like, how are you gonna be harder on drugs than domestic violence? Like, I
yeah,
mean, I feel like the only drugs maybe that you should really be hard on are like performance enhancing drugs or like hard drugs. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't
Domestic
know.
violence though, like you just kind of look at the other way is I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, Josh Giddey, do you think like under investigation? I know you're innocent until proven guilty, but in this case, you see some evidence. It doesn't look good on the surface. Would you think that they would keep him away or maybe not let him practice or keep him from the team facilities for a little while until they get a hand on it? Or do you think they should have let him go on and go just say no comment on a topic as serious as, you know, as the messing with the underage
Should he talk? I
individual?
mean, I don't think any of that stuff should be handled publicly. To be honest with you, like, what is he going to say? Like, I feel like the NBA needs to do its own investigation on what's happening. And if something is crazy happens, then you just kind of out the league and off the team. That's how I feel about it. Like I don't. It doesn't need to be a statement. It's just
Yeah,
like if you're not doing it right, you gotta keep him pushing. That's how I feel.
I
Anyway.
get it. I'm just saying, if it's me, the first thing I'm saying is the truth gonna come out. Not just no comment. And then I'm gonna say after that, after I say truth, the truth will come out. We're gonna
Right.
find out the truth. That's if you're not guilty. And
It-
then you say, you get what I'm saying? You go, and then I'm allow, that's all I'm going to say about that. That's your no comment right there. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? You kind of put yourself like, I ain't do it. I'm good. Y'all gonna find out exactly what happened, and then we're
yeah,
gonna, I can move on. But
yeah,
after that, I'm not saying anything. Just the whole no
yeah.
comment thing, that it don't
Yeah,
look
no
right to
comment.
me.
Yeah, my no comment at all seems it feels guilty. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he is because I don't know the details. But no comment feels guilty. But if you
Yeah,
say, like you said, more will be revealed. I can't. I can't talk about anything because it's under investigation. But as soon as I can, I will talk to you. When you say stuff like that, it gives at least gives the demeanor that you want to speak to the people and that you aren't ashamed of anything. And I'm
correct.
just following protocol, you
Right.
know. But it is what it is. You'll see how that plays out. We'll definitely see how that plays out. But yo, salute to the chat. We can end the show right here. Shout out to my guys Lee, who's chilling with moms on the holidays, and shout out to my guy Ryan G. He's gallivanting around New York.
Uh,
Yeah,
Shorty in New York.
yeah, yeah. He came up from Indiana, so I know he's out here in bars. Also, he was in the text chat talking about he was pissed that the Knicks were losing and left the bar in the third quarter, only to get home and find out they won. So
Shouts out to Ryan for helping the mojo, I guess.
exactly, he was Ryan G. He was bad luck. So we started leading. We started winning after you left. So thank you for leading
Yeah,
the ball. You set the toe for us. That's how we got that dub. All right, shout out to Ryan.
I know he would have definitely had a bruh pick. His bruh pick might have been him. He might he might have been his own bruh pick.
Exactly. Exactly.
He said for leaving the bar before the game's over and they win.
Because you already know
Definitely.
that. You know that ball was lit after the comeback. What? You know that ball was lit.
For
I was
real,
watching.
positive vibes.
Mm-hmm. I was watching I was watching the game with my fam. My fam was lit and cheering and booing the one person who wasn't a Knicks fan in there. It was great.
it's it's only one. It's always one, right?
Yeah, it was always one. It's always one. It's always one. Going against the
Yeah.
grain. But yo, salute to the chat. Shout out to Alexander. We survived 100 people. SK, Coach CR, salute to you. Shout out to Fritz, the best mod in the game, who's holding it down for me. Because I'm not at home, so he's holding down the graphics for us. Pamela Williams, shout out to you, Pamela. We need more. We
Queen
need more
P.
women's in the chat. We need more women's in the chat.
That's Queen P. That's my big
Yeah,
sis.
yeah.
Shouts out. Shouts out to
So,
Queen P.
so we got Ebony. We got Ebony on the squad now. Um, I know Glamour Nix used to be in the chat. Glamour Nix was at the game. I saw her taking a picture with Nick Hater on Twitter. They were at the game. But we need like a little woman crew in the chat, man. Yo, if you go on the KOT, they have a little demographics page. It doesn't even recognize women as a percentage in there. It's like
That's terrible.
it is. I don't even think it says 1% in there for women. It just says 100% men. And I was like,
Wow.
I know I got 4 women.
He said, "This ain't right. This ain't right."
I know I got 4 women. At least give me like a 0.4. You know, something.
Yes,
But yeah, but salute to you guys. All right.
definitely.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, I just
Okay.
want to say to the chat too that shouts out for rocking it with us and everybody that look at this on the back. Y'all could have been anywhere. It's a billion post games. I know that, but y'all chose to rock out with us. So again, appreciate that.
Yeah, bro. Von Allen says Brunson taking these shots to the head and chest is starting to concern me. I agree. His defense has been underrated. He has been a demon in the passing lanes and stellar off ball. You know what? You're right. And we actually never really addressed that on this program.
What was that?
Brunson's defense has been really good this year.
Yes.
It's been really good. He's playing passing wings well. The charges have been something. The way he's been fighting over screens has been next level. He's been good defensively, and he's maximized what he can do at his size and speed defensively for sure. He's never going to be a plus, like a real like extreme plus defender, but he puts his heart out on the floor. He's the opposite of whatever Trae Young be doing.
Facts. Now, I noticed it too. I think I mentioned it like earlier in the season. Just his effort is supreme. He's getting, he's always going to be small. He can't change that. So,
Yeah.
his effort around screens, going around screens, and just playing angles better. Again, he's young too, so he's still learning. It looks like the game slowed down for him on the defensive end.
Yeah.
His help rotations, he's seeing things before they come, and he's beating the players to their spot even with help. And when it becomes on ball, he's just being a menace, just being active.
Yeah.
That's
sorry.
huh? Yeah, that's all you can do.
No, I'm saying I always felt like he was decent on ball. It's funny, even when I was looking at his numbers last year, his on ball defensive numbers were pretty good. I'm going off of memory, but I feel like it was like in the 70th percentile or 80th percentile on ball, which is way better than I expected. But his thing was pick and roll defense. Like that's where his numbers was really dipping. When he had to like pick and roll or like react or help out on anything off ball, his numbers defensively were bad last year. But I haven't checked this year. Maybe I'll check.
Well, from my eye test, and what I could remember, it looks like he's doing well. He's in the passing lanes. He's giving more effort on that end. I felt like before he used to die on screens and maybe just give into them, but he's really pushing towards them. He's the rotation. That's another thing that was better towards the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter was our rotations. I help rotations on defense.
Yeah, really good. Defensively, we're still good. Defensively, we're still a top. I think we're top 6. Let me check the numbers. I have them written down. I think we're top 6 defense, top 11 offense. I'm just going off of memory. But yeah, Brunson has been a part of that. Mitchell Robinson has been part of that. We're still one of the top defensive teams in the league. And listen, we held the team to under 100 points again. So
we got a super chat. They asked SK asked a couple
things.
It says take a moment and watch Brunson's post-game interview. Can you guys comment? Second, can you guys talk about Tibbs' in-game interview about opening passing lanes for Randall?
See, I'm not in the spot to actually listen to it right now, to be honest with you. Like if I was in my old setup, if I was in my house setup, I could listen to it and kind of just plug it in.
Yeah.
For everybody to listen while I listen to it. But let's see. And how long is? Maybe I can find a clip, but I'm not even sure if the clip will affect the stream sound here.
Yeah, I missed it. He said it might have been on ESPN's broadcast. Yeah, I can't do ESPN SK.
Okay, wait. It says honestly. Wait. Okay, honestly. Wait. Hold on. Wow. I don't know if y'all guys can hear what I just watched. So a reporter asked Jalen Brunson, what fueled the 21-point comeback, and a fan looked at him, at Jalen Brunson, and said, "This is embarrassing." And then Jalen Brunson said, "Yeah, that fueled it."
Yeah. He's sarcastic. He's sarcastic.
Yo, Brunson.
I love it. Built for New York.
The funny part about that, the comeback happened when Brunson was on the bench.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess his part in the comeback when
Yeah,
he
yeah,
got
it's
all
like,
mad and
it's like,
aggressive is
yeah,
because
yeah,
somebody said that this is embarrassing. But
yeah,
they
yeah.
did say they take, I don't know, they could have been half sarcastic and half, he telling the truth. Because he did say how the Knicks team does take home situation more seriously now, where they feel like everybody's trying to come out and play and they're not with it. They don't want to let them, have good games on their home floor anymore.
Nah, I hear
So
you.
that might have really did wake him up a little bit because he did start playing angry and he did look at the crowd one time and said something. So I
I
don't know if
mean,
he was saying something to that man, but when he was on his N1 spree, he
yeah,
definitely turned to somebody in the crowd and said something.
I got you, bro. Maybe it was IQ. Maybe he said the IQ too, because IQ came in here firing. He came in here guns a blazing, shooting threes every play. So maybe the fan said to IQ too on the bench, and then said to Brunson when he came and sat down. I don't know, because they was playing with another type of heart at the end of that third, fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, SK said Tibbs basically said Randall was doing a shit job, but the players, had to move to create lanes for Randall too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I kind of mentioned that earlier. He has to, but he has to let people create lanes for him. I mean, well, he has to. I think they did a decent job. And again, I was saying that we did stand around, so I could understand what Tibbs was coming. In that first half, I felt we were a lot stagnant and with our hands just like this, waiting instead of trying to help him create different passes and things of that nature. I
Yeah, I
thought that
was.
was sorry, go ahead.
Nah, cause remember I was about to tag you on something. You ended up commenting on it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they go over actions to run in certain situations when Randall is posting, but they might not always do it. Because there was a situation. Remember the play? You know the play I'm talking about, right, Ebony? For like a few games ago,
Yeah. I
where it's
think
like
it was
Randall has the ball, Josh Hart cuts, then like Brunson slides to
to
the
the wing. It's like a decoy almost.
yeah, and IQ goes to the corner, and
Mhm.
it kind of gives Randall's three options to pass to. So it's not just ISO, but it's ISO with ball movement,
Mm.
and maybe the coach was kind of saying that we didn't really do that like we should have. I don't know. I have to watch the game to see how stagnant we were.
Now we
During,
were really stagnant. Like we had spurts again. We did have some times where the ball movement was like bam, bam, bam. It was like okay. And then we
Mhm.
had a lot of times in that first half and like the beginning of the third quarter where we were just standing and nobody was really doing anything. That was another adjustment that we made toward the middle of the third, closing the third, where you seen I think iHeart hit Josh Hart on like a backdoor cut that they
Mhm.
had going on. So you seen more of
Yeah,
that happening during the game than you did. But fortunately, Randall was on the bench, so he didn't get the benefit for that.
yeah. That second
Um,
unit does. That's what they do though. The second unit moves the ball.
yeah,
Second
but
unit moves the ball.
yeah, they definitely do. But and Tibbs he did a good. I'm not gonna say anything. He did a decent job with that today because normally he'd probably just let Randall keep having the ball as primary ball handler,
Mhm.
doing whatever, twirling and whirling or
Twirl.
like twirling and whirling like a discombobulated ballerina or
Mhm.
Tasmanian devil. I don't want to see that no more. We can't go back to that, Julius. I
I'm
can't
good.
I can't take that, Julius.
I
We
am
cannot.
good. No more. Put that to bed. I don't need no
Nah.
handle Randall's back in effect. I'm good on
We
that.
we we looking forward. We're going forward. We're not looking back, Randall. A
Exactly.
new day, growth. Let's go.
New year, new you. It's almost 2024. Let's go. All right. All right.
Yes.
We talked about everything today. That's our show. We could wrap it up. We'll be back here on Sunday talking Knicks versus Suns. That will be at 6 o'clock. And so yeah, definitely tune in for that. And also Dexter's supposed to be coming one of these games soon. So check out that because yeah, so yeah, you get to meet Dexter, Ebony.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
All
Excited
right.
for that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, yo, that's our show. Salute to the squad. Salute to you. We served 100 people. SK, thank you for the super chat. Helps keeps the light on, much needed. We won, man. We beat the Heat. Let's go.
This is a good one for us on
That's
S
right. That's right, man. Woo. Always feels good to beat the Heat. Pat Riley and Pat the Rat. It's always good to beat Pat the Rat any day of the week. Any day of the week. But that's our show, Ebony. Thank and the guy and the chat. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, shout out to World Wide West, because everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess. That's our show. We out of here. Peace.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.